have been drilled in and on it. Innovations are like nonstop rocking. Chaz, if you could light me up, that would be much, much appreciated. So AG, talk to me. We had a lot of like process mastery, a lot of like confronting dynamics of self mastery last night. Thank you to Rick and Barbara. Awesome stuff going on. So let's take like a breath this morning, because we're going to be doing a lot of energetic variants and having a lot of fun this weekend. But for this morning, like AG, on the lighter, like uplifting, like we have it, like, yes, it's happening. People can do it. All of us, like, focus is a formula. It works. Innovation, growth, acceleration. Just in the how certain are you that every single person here can rise their money, time, and magic? Adam Gugino.
99.99999% certain. You started the call.
And how about this? Oh, go ahead, Adam.
Yeah. No, you started the call off with innovation. And I was just going to say innovation, scaling, building. I mean, that's all I could think about in my mind. So, which would be a rise to your money, time, and magic. Please continue.
No, that is present. How about like just the fun energy of it? Like, how much fun is winning and growing and creating, building? Like, how much fun?
And making money? How fun is making money?
Yes, that is the question. So let's hear it from, I think, somebody who knows a little something about fun, Bella Verita. How fun is making money?
Making money is super freaking fun, because you can do all kinds of fun things with money. And all kinds of
So let's do this.
Money.
Yeah, since it's Why Wednesday, let's break into a fun pattern with people in the movement coming forward that are here today to talk about some of the most fun you've ever had with money. So let's go around the circle a little bit. Adam, it doesn't be the most fun, but what's something fun that you've done with money? And everybody raise hands. Let's get messages in the chat. Fernando, let's get optics, Chaz, like people that want to jump up. So yeah, Adam.
Yeah, I got
what's
it.
a fun thing?
I got it. So
go.
First of all, the fun, there is no fun doing things alone. That's first, right? So everything that you talked about already, going into the morning, the building and the scaling, the fun that I've been having, why I'm here, why I do what I do, is being able to do it with this team, with our team. And as we continue to expand the team, it becomes more fun. So my fun around money, my previous role in the organization of selling solar over the phone, of course, and building and scaling, was our month-end meetings, where we would have a whole heck of a lot of fun. It really started with giving some cash bonuses for same days and next days. And as we innovated, at the end of the month, we started to give away a whole heck of a lot of cash to people. Of course, for those accountants that are on the phone, there was ways to make sure that came out of the executives and all the other things to make sure that I'm sure there's some like eyebrows raising as I'm talking about the tens of, really probably hundreds of thousands of dollars we gave out in cash because of the stimulant that it was for for that moment, and to have something happen on the spot and reward it. So at the end of the month, we one month decided, I said to the team, I said, listen, it's month end. We're about to break a record and hit, the most incredible goal we've ever had. Let's get a cash machine. And everyone was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? What's those things where like dollar bills fly around and people grab them and all that. And I remember my one manager was talking. He's like, Adam, that's impossible. We don't have time. How are we going to get that here? And he said, maybe we could build one. And he started going online, looking at Home Depot. And he's like, I tried. I called everyone. No one can get us a cash machine. So it's just not happening. You're going to have to just give up on that idea for this month. And I said, okay. So if I pick up the phone and I get us a cash machine, what's going to happen? How would you put your job on the line? And he looks at me, he goes, no, Adam. So sure enough, I made a couple Google searches, picked up the phone, got someone on the line. you know, she sounded like it was going to be really difficult to make it happen, but we had a cash machine in the office the next day. And there was no more fun of having money and having people, you know, hitting targets and being able to get in a cash machine and pull out hundreds and tens and all kinds of fun prizes that we had in there. I have actually on my Instagram videos of some people doing it, but that was freaking fun as effing hell.
Good. Absolutely awesome. So Adam Gugino, cash machines, money flying, Bella Verita, fun with money.
For me, my always, because I agree with Adam 100%. For me, the best thing about having money is the things I'm able to do with other people. The things I'm able to like pay for my mom, for my sister, like and to do fun things with them. And so for me, like all of the funnest things that I've been able to do is like, you know, take my family somewhere or be at dinner with my friends and, you know, be able to pay for dinner when I know like, you know, they are worried about money, you know, all the time. So just, you know, we talk about shared experiences all the time. And even though it wasn't my money, but one of the funnest times that I know cost money is when you took us all to Fantasy Island at one of the immersions, which I know cost money. It wasn't my money, but that was one of like the funnest experiences when like everybody at Unblinded like took over Fantasy Island. So, you know, for me, the fun is with having money is the experiences that you get to have with people.
Amazing. And what was your favorite ride at Fantasy Island? Or favorite experience in being at Fantasy Island?
So my favorite experience has to do with Patricia Marseille, and I'm sure she is here. So it's that big, I don't know what they call it, but they shoot you straight up in the air. And I'm standing in line with Patricia and she's like scared out of her mind. And she's like, I don't want to do this. And I'm like, we're doing this. Like, we got to do this. And she's like, it's going to be terrible. She's scared out of her mind. We get on the thing. She's flipping out. She's like not wanting to do this. Of course, I've made her do it. I'm like, you've got this. Then for whatever reason, the machine starts to go up and then it gets to the top and apparently it's got too much weight on it. So we go all the way to the top and then, you know, she's like, okay, we're ready to like shoot down. And then it just starts coming down slowly. And she's like, what the heck is going on? Like, this was nothing. Like, what was I so worried about? And then we find out we get to the bottom and we find out people have to get off and we have to go up again. And she's like, oh my God, like, this is crazy. And then when we go up and like, it shoots back down and she's laughing and having a good time. And like, that was a pivotal moment for her and she can come and she can share that story if she wants to, but it was like a pivotal moment, you know, for her. So to be a part of that experience with Patricia was priceless.
Oh, extraordinary.
Can I go shallow? That was deep. Can I go shallow?
Let's go shallow, Jack Tavares.
That was an amazing time, Bella. Thank you for sharing that.
Shallow was.
Hey, by the way, Patricia, Jack, always jump in. I love it. Jack, thank you for jumping in. Patricia, thank you. Just jump. Awesome. Good, Jack.
Shallow was before I got married, taking a private jet for Super Bowl weekend with strippers to Vegas.
Oh my
God. We did the trip to Vegas, only 1 year with strippers, but we did the trip to Vegas for 10 straight years for Super Bowl weekend. And it was absolutely phenomenal. And that was, you want to talk about shared experiences, take some customers to Vegas for 10 years in a row for Super Bowl weekend. You get to be really close with them. But the year we took the strippers, the best was coming off the airplane. Imagine being in a private, it was on a private plane. Imagine getting off a private plane with 10 guys and there's girls in stilettos on the runway as you're landing in Vegas. It was the funnest. I think I still have pictures of it. It was the funnest. It was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life because all the people that were out there were working the runway were staring at us like we were out of our minds. It was great.
I just want you to know, Sean, you said this morning, like, Jack is one of your best friends. I think you said that on a call. Like, you love Jack. He's one of your greatest friends. So just now you know what you're associated with.
And hold on. Oh, yeah. I got another one. And then we went to the first time that the Yankees played in the new stadium, first playoff game, we flew up for that with a bunch of guys, and we sat on the third base sideline, like right there. Like, it was awesome. That was unbelievable too. That was a great experience. And then Albany one time, we had a birthday party at the Albany in the Bahamas. If you ever get a chance to go to the Albany in the Bahamas, it's phenomenal. That was great. Money's awesome, but more money, more problems.
Yeah, more money, more problems. So mixed association. So love Jack. I love the fun. Quick disclaimer: that would definitely not be a part of my world of fun, but I'm always honoring what everybody's world of fun is. So I always honor it. I love everybody unconditionally with boundaries. Love you, Jack. I'm not making that flight, but I'd be very happy to meet you in Vegas with my kids and to walk through like the zoo at like Mandalay Bay or something. Like that would be. I'll meet you there.
How about an unblinded ayahuasca party in Costa Rica?
Oh man!
I will be there. I will be there, but I will skip the ayahuasca and I will be like hacking through the jungle looking for like native species with my daughter, and then I'll jump in for like a long surf ride in a major wave in Costa Rica. And when you guys are done tripping, we'll reconnect and have pizza.
I think you guys should set up a call once a week that's unblinded after dark for just the community, certain times. Like let's have that call so everybody can just drop in all their awesome stories.
Hey Jack, I reckon I could lead that with you.
Yes.
I let Peter and Jack to lead that. That is not a problem.
I've got a fun money story that isn't quite as deviant as Jack's.
Oh man.
Please.
This is a clean one. I once had a dispute with an insurance company for about 50 grand, and they were totally in the wrong, but using small print. So I went to court, and I hired from the local college and university. I hired reporters and photographers and a crowd. So they walked into this thinking it was just little old me, and there was literally a crowd outside the court. And I had reporters like mug their lawyers and the client with, "What do you think about this?" and da 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 da, and yada yada yada, and taking photos. And I made the whole thing this theater. So they just walked up to me and went, I don't think we realized what this was. Can we have a quick conversation before we walk in? I'm like, sure we can. But I spent about £10,000, about $15,000 hiring essentially a staged theater so that what they thought was just them versus me became a national interest story. That was quite a fun way to spend money.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Peter Slade has some amazing, extraordinary shared experiences. So we want to go more. I'm going to drop in real quick a couple of variant money energies because this just happened. So my Aunt Denise and Uncle Mike are extraordinary human beings. You guys met Michael Pisa, their son, at the Unblinded Elite. Ken Van Loo has done some work with Michael, and Michael's doing some awesome stuff. By the way, Unblinded team, let's make sure Michael knows when his group calls are, because I haven't seen Michael in a few weeks, or actually a couple of months. So his dad, they had inherited a home that was on the water in this place in New Jersey. It's like on a little lagoon, maybe 30 minutes away from Long Beach Island. And they had real problems with the house. And my mom called me up and was like, a variety of different decisions they made. My cousin Lauren has 5 children. She's adopted 2 babies from Africa that God only knows what would have happened to these children if she didn't end up adopting. So it was in the most impoverished areas and sex trafficking and all kinds of horrors right, around. And so, in fact, when we did our family trip that I talk about, I brought the whole family, like 40 people to Grand Cayman. Lauren couldn't go because she had just gotten the approval that they can go to Africa and adopt the baby Jordan, right? My cousin's child, right? So it's amazing. So these are wonderful people. My Uncle Mike teaches in a Christian school, law enforcement. He's a homicide detective in Perth Amboy at some point. this is like what Bruce Springsteen would sing of as the fabric of America. Like, these are A triple plus humans on every level, on every account. Of if everybody was like these people, like the world is a greater place automatically. Selfless, giving, faith-filled, loving, like just make the world better. No judgment, no like whatever, just like everything people should be. Or everything would be amazing if people were. And so my mom calls me and it's like, you know, it's so hard. Uncle Mike is going through a hard time. He's had heart problems, things. They're going to have to sell the house in Lenoka Harbor because they're making decisions about supporting, you know, like the families and all kinds of things are going on, right? And I'm like, why do they have to sell? Like, well, the house is like collapsing. It's got to be raised up, and they can't do this and that and this. Like, and it's really important for the family that they do this and this. I'm like, how much? And my mom's like, what do you mean? Like, how much they need? And I'm like, well, they just need a bridge. I'm like, they need a loan? That's it? Like, yeah, for how much? She's like, well, $200,000. I'm like, are you crazy? I'm like, tell my Uncle Mike done. Like, done in 5 minutes. And call me crying. And this is a person who couldn't have done more things for me in my life by just being there. By just being there. At Christmas, at Thanksgiving, at my grandparents' house in Long Beach Island. Quiet, kept to himself, but was just loving and respectful and supportive from the time I met him when I was 9 years old. Or actually, I think more like 7 years old, when we started dating my Aunt Denise. And my Aunt Denise, by the way, and my aunts are like 14. My Aunt Denise was 15 when I was born. So there's like a quasi big sister like kind of dynamic as well with her and my other aunts. And to like do something for somebody who's never asked for anything, not only from me, from anybody ever, and just accepting this brought him to tears. And to be able to do that for somebody is extraordinary. If that's like, well, that's a little bit out of reach for me, maybe for somebody it's not, and a little bit overwhelming, then let's go back in time and go to this moment. When I first started succeeding in the law firm, this isn't crazy, but Tyler, my son, was not quite 3, and Courtney was 8 months old. And I said, we're going to Grand Cayman, and we're going for 3 weeks. And we're going for 3 weeks, and I'm not going to have my phone on because I'm a business owner now, not an operator. It's in law firm 1. Back in, this trip was in 2002. And as right before I was selling it. And I said, like, this is what's happening. And to have gone to a place in Grand Cayman for 3 weeks, to be in the water, and there's a spot that to this day, I still go to every time I go to Grand Cayman, where there's this rock formation where these fish live. And there's a fish there named Whitey, because they're white fish. I've never seen them anywhere else. And to this day, we go there. We leave because we say Whitey is magical and he never dies. And every single time we go, we see Whitey. It was my vision and inability to see, except for a narrow sliver peripherally. I have never gone to that spot in my life. To this day, even if it takes me 10 or 15 minutes, and Whitey will appear. That's a true story. And that's what money can buy. And what money can never buy. Both. And so we think about our life and the things and the stuff, and sometimes we're waiting and sometimes we're heavy. Like, this is what's available. It's fun, magic, and I cry every single time. And I think about holding Tyler in that water when Whitey would jump up and rip the bag of fish food open. And I think of Courtney face planting in the sand and eating sand at 8 months old and screaming, crying when she fell off the chair. And we still tell those stories. And I think of when Courtney was the youngest person that ever fed dolphins in Anguilla, when I made sure I was going to figure out a way to get there. And I was, at that point, I was already separated, and I went by myself with Tyler and Courtney. My mom had a timeshare down there. And then I was like on a boat with, I think Courtney was like, 2, and Tyler was just 2, and Tyler was 4 or whatever. And I remember just being there and like in the water with the both of them with like dolphins. Now, I know I get all the things of like, is that good and right and, animal sensitive, but put that aside for a second, please. Like, it was a magical, incredible moment that without money wouldn't have happened. And that's the ability to do, as Bella said, as Adam said, as Jack said, in fun, right? Magic with friends and connections, to do things with and for people we love. From stiletto heels on a runway to loaning a family member who would never even ask or would ask for something, to preserve his family legacy from his parents. Like, that's what was at stake for future generations. To be able to just touch that in a way that meant everything for him. It was not a heavy lift for me, like, at all. All of those things, that's fun and magic. So we say the 7th lever is fun and magic. It's all of this. All of this. Fernando, anything to share?
Sean, can I add?
Yeah,
go ahead.
please.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say what I hear in all of it and all the fun and deep stories and my shallow story real quick that I put in there. All of it is around the opportunity to have choice, to be able to, generate the money to create shared experiences for other people, to be able to give back and to be able to have the choices to do whatever you want to do versus having to do things out of necessity or just having the freedom to do whatever you want and to give back to your friends, coworkers, what family, whatever you want, just having all those choices and options. The more money, the more opportunity you have to create for others. That's all I want to say.
Love it, Jack. Agreed, brother. Fernando.
Yeah, and anything to share? Well, first of all, thank you for sharing that story. I love how we vary our energies here on the Huddle. So beautifully intentional. Now, would you like me to share just thoughts on the story or
whatever
story?
you want. What's up? What do you want to share? I want you to share whatever you want to share, brother.
Well, I was going to share a funny story about money, and now what's more present for me is what you just shared there. Like, I remember we were on a Huddle sometime last year, and we were having a similar conversation. And I said, one of my dreams is I want to take my family somewhere. My family vacations didn't exist in my family until about 4 years ago. There was a causing of leadership. It happened. It was never going to happen again. It's happened 2, 3, 4 years in a row now. And we spoke about it, and you asked me, you're like, how much money do you need to like bring all your family members somewhere? And I said, I don't know, maybe around like 15,000. And it was like something that, was going to happen over there. And you said, you know what, Fernando, before the end of the year, like, you have to make that happen. And I was like, okay. And like, we never spoke about it again, publicly or personally. We just never spoke about it. And it became like a mission. It became like a goal. And for, Christmas was coming around, and Raj from Calgary Law changed my life as he taught me the concept of we gifting. I never had any idea what that meant. And we were in Calgary Law one day, and he's like, yeah, we gift. And I was fascinated. And for everyone that was, as ignorant as I was, a we gift is something that you give to someone that you can do together in service of like creating memories and experiences. And I love the idea. My family for a while was about, gift cards and money and things, and no judgment, nothing against it. I just never wanted to receive those things. So like, I created my own boundaries, and I said, don't do that. Like, let's go to dinner, or like anything at all. I don't want your money or your gift cards. And all that to say, this December, I thought about it, like what I wanted to do. And I wanted to commit to that goal. So I did. And for Christmas, it's a big thing at my house. This is the first year ever. My older brother, Alex, was in the hospital battling COVID. He is completely 100% okay. Healthy now. It was just, a traumatic experience. First time in my 29 years that my family did not get together for Christmas. It's my mom's holiday. So there was a lot of, sadness, weirdness, Zoom calls, just all craziness. And, half of my family got together, and we always, we're Spanish, so we celebrate on the 24th, and we never wait till midnight. It is like, we just don't have the patience. So we're doing gifts, everyone's always doing gifts, usually the oldest boy, which is Mikey, like holds the garbage can. We put all like the wrappers and the paper and we go through all the gifts. And, I'm humbly, I'm like known for like my gifts and what I give people in my family. And there was like no gifts for me this year. There was no boxes, there was no letters, there was no anything. And I just stood quiet. I like leveraged the power of silence, and I'm like there, and I'm like giving all my energy, taking up very little space. And I can tell it was like getting awkward because they're like, they don't want to ask me anything and I'm not saying anything. And they're just like waiting and waiting. And then once everything was done, my brother finally like cracked the seal and was like, but like, what's up? And I said, well, listen. And I said, I'm like getting choked up about it. I shared a speech and I shared, how much they mean to me and how grateful I am that they support me, and that, I wasn't around in my younger 20s because I was out and I was partying. And truly, like when I reflect, those are moments I regret, and I don't regret much. And I made a vow once I decided to change my life around that I was going to prioritize what mattered to me. And I shared all that with them, and how I wanted to honor that promise, and how much these family vacations meant to me, and that they're not about, me being there or me choosing or me anything. I just wanted to spend time with them. And what I gave them for Christmas is that I invested in a full family trip. And we're going to be going to the Key West, Florida in July for our yearly family vacation. And I had the pleasure of, expensing everything. We bought a beautiful home that we're all going to stay together, which is my dream. My family love hotels. I don't. I like homes. We got a beautiful boat. We're going to a private island. We're like renting jet skis, and we planned this beautiful trip. And that, to me, everything we did on Unblinded, 18 hours a day, losing my mind, feared out everywhere. That moment was like, I can do this again for the rest of my life, as long as I can keep giving these moments. And that's why, I do what I do personally. And I am a firm believer on money, time, magic is what matters, because the money and the time is great. But hearing that story, your son and your daughter, Tyler and Emma, face planning, that's what I get to create when I go with my family to vacation. And I'm sure that when I reach a different chapter in my life, those are the stories I'm going to be sharing. So you brought that alive and into my heart today. And that's what I'm thinking about.
No, thank you, brother. That is
Gorgeous.
beautiful. It's all beautiful everywhere. And if anybody needs ayahuasca or stilettos, call Jack. I think that's the outcome and the takeaway from today. But no, love choice, the power of choice, the freedom of all of it, and all the beautiful things. And I've had the privilege, by the way, of being with Jack and his incredible wife, Jackie, and their relationship is magical. Magical. So Jack's awesome, fun, crazy, silly, is real. And that's the power and beauty of everything we're doing here, is being real. So love you guys. See you on Clubhouse. Let's go ecosystem merge, because that 24/7.
Before we go, I feel like everything that everybody shared today, that money brings, is shared experience. Like I feel like everybody, like in one way or another, it's about like shared experience. So I just wanted to drop that in. And I also, for fun energy, want to drop in that we're going over to Clubhouse, and like, you're going to do your thing at 9, but at 9:30, Bella Verita is going to be going from hello to yes to get Michael Benson to paint his nails pink. So if you want to really understand like the 4 energies, how the formula works in any way, shape, or form, you want to bring your salespeople to the 9:30 Clubhouse to see how you go from hello to yes for people for their reasons, because he's going to paint his nails pink for his reasons, not mine.
That is absolutely extraordinary. And how about we go, what is Jack, you still here, brother?
Yeah, I'm here.
I think I'm here. Okay. Hey, so take this out. What would be like a good song for walking off of a private jet in Vegas? Like, what's our takeout song for that?
50 Cent, I Get Money.
Let's go. 50 Cent, I Get Money. Let's hit it.
Oh my God, I love Jack.
Have a great day, guys.
I get it.